For years, we dreamt of it. The floating castles, the enchanted forests, the talking animals and gentle spirits. We said, I want to live in a Studio Ghibli world. But what if I told you we've been wrong this entire time? These weren't dream worlds, they were warnings wrapped in beauty, trauma dressed in wonder, grief disguised as magic. We didn't notice it as kids, but as I've come to grow up, I have been watching these movies closely, and there are elements of pain and loss, and there's nowhere where it's more terrifying, in my own opinion, than in The Boy and the Heron. Hi guys, my name is Sean Timber, and today I'm going to try and convince you why this movie here is one of the scariest movies that Studio Ghibli have ever made. We aren't made for the Studio Ghibli world, okay? And I'm going to prove it, don't worry, let me prove it to you. Hold on. So, my first thing that I'm going to talk about is the mental damage of living inside the Studio Ghibli world, especially this one. So in the beginning, as soon as the movie starts, the first thing that happens to this young boy is that he hears your mother's hospital on fire. Now think about that for a moment. And as he's running down the street, you can see that all these people look like scary figures. Look at this. And then imagine you're running to your mother's hospital because it's somehow on fire. You see this guy screaming and burning half of his face in the street like this. And yeah, you will need serious therapy after seeing this. So what happens is this boy Mahito, his mother dies, right? And then later on, like I think it's 4 years later, what happens is he meets with his aunt, his mother's sister, okay? With his dad. All right, so they go there. And this is what she says. Mahito, I'm going to be your new mother. Did you know? So you would think, oh, it's because it's the aunt. So of course she's going to be the new mother because it makes sense, right? Like since mom isn't there, she'll be taking care of you. But no, that's not what it means, bruh. He's literally going to have a baby, right? With his father. It's crazy. And then look at his face. This is in the movie. As you see that I'm just going through random clips that I picked to get my point across. But look at his face. Yeah, he needs... I wrote therapy. He needs therapy. He needs therapy for sure. Because your mom just died and your father is now hooking up with your mom's younger sister. And they are basically having a baby, so that's interesting. And yeah, your father is making out with your mom's younger sister right there. And you're watching this. It's crazy. It's crazy. Look. Oh man. I feel sorry for this young kid. But imagine if this were you living in this world. Would you still want to live in a world where you wake up one day and your mother's hospital is on fire and your dad starts making out with your aunt? So yeah, this movie is actually a horror movie, but just pretty looking. I will prove it. Yep. So while you're at your auntie's place, right? Okay, imagine this. Your father is making out with your aunt, and okay, cool. You now live there. You're trying to recover from the death of your mother, right? Okay, cool. But then every day or every other day, there's this big bird which comes to stand by your window and starts imitating your mother's voice, calling you by name. Right? Okay, cool. That's not enough. All right, there's more. And then this random bird uses your dead mother's voice to taunt you. Look, it's even saying, Mahito, save me. So it's your mom's voice who died being imitated by this random bird saying, Mahito, save me. That's crazy. That's crazy. Nothing is more evil than this, but nah, I think there's more. And there is more. Hold on. So I had this question. How does this bird know to imitate your voice when you ran to the hospital 4 years ago, right? Because think about it. This happened 4 years, but this random bird is literally imitating your voice as you're running to the hospital. If you watch the movie, he was saying mom, crying, running to the hospital. Then this bird is doing the same thing. Oh, and then you go outside to go and chase it and look at how it looks like. Gosh, this is crazy. And this is what it's saying, by the way. The bird is saying, I shall now guide you to your mother who died. Exactly. So the boy is like, yo, my mom died. He's pissed, of course. Look at the face of this thing. Look at these teeth. And you tell me that you still want to live in a Studio Ghibli world. Look at this. And he's saying she's awaiting your rescue, of course. There's more. Now, when this bird comes and starts saying, oh, I'm gonna go with you to your mom. I'm gonna show you where your mom is. She's not dead. All these fishies start coming out. And they look really freaky. Look at their mouths. Drooling. Crazy. And frogs. All of them saying, join us. This is scary, actually. Think of this as a movie. This, like a live action of this would be really scary. Look at this. Bruh. So the only way that the person who was being haunted by these frogs and fishies and that really big bird is this arrow right here. So this arrow is the only arrow that could save you if you were in this world. So if I were to drop you today, where are you gonna get the arrow? Which means you're dead. This. And of course, the child faints, right? Yeah, I truly believe this is hell. Do you want to live in this hell? Okay, there are some people who are like, nah, I don't mind living here. It's okay, there's more. There's more. So, imagine. You're chilling. Recovering from the fact that your father is making out with your aunt. Your mother just died. And then this happens. The gates of hell open up. And your mom's voice starts calling from this fire. Mahito, save me. It's crazy. And hellfire starts coming out, which is crazy too. Right? And look at the boy's face. This is how terrified this boy is from seeing this. And here are two grannies who are just randomly speaking about the boy. So then they're saying, oh, this boy who's here will get taken. Right? But where will he get taken? Where would the boy be taken? By whom too? And then the boy's aunt actually vanishes. Okay? She's nowhere to be found. And then the boy is now going to get her. And this is what he says. Maybe she didn't have a choice. Maybe she didn't have a choice to go to hell. You see where I'm going with this? Hold on, don't worry. I have proof that this is hell. I have proof that this is hell. Right? And it's gonna get dark for sure. So yeah, Mahito follows his new mom to save her. He enters into an old house. And just like in typical horror movie fashion, he goes into the house to this place and then the door shuts behind him. There's no going out. You're in. It's over. Okay? It's over. And then boom, the wall starts moving. That freakish bird comes out I call it the spawn of hell. Comes out waiting for you. And then this is what it says. It says, about time you came. And look at the teeth. The teeth are freaky. The teeth are freaky. So eventually they talk it through, which is weird because the bird just says, oh, I'm going to show you where your mother is. And then they go into this maze-like place, which is taken from horror movie as well. Like horror movies, if you go into the house like this, if you run through this entrance right here, if you run out, you probably show up through here. You see? So horror elements. So it's like a labyrinth and there's no going out. Then of course the bird is like, oh, here's your mom, right? Your dead mom, she's right here and she's just laying there, right? And of course the boy starts crying because he sees his mom, right? But wrong. What happens is as the boy touches the mom, she turns into a fluid like this and starts melting away. Now, this is where I was watching this and I was like, nah. Because imagine, I keep on saying this, but if your mom passed away and then you follow her to this place where you can't get out, by the way, and then someone shows you your mom, it's like, oh yeah, she's right there. And then you go and then you touch mom and then this starts happening. Bruh, I'm telling you, this isn't it. This isn't it, bruh. And then she turns into water like this. Again, she's gone. Nah. And this fiendish bird says, oh yeah, if you'd like, I could remake your mom, by the way. What? That's crazy. And yeah, what he says next is utter boo poop. Let me show you. He says, I'll bite your arrogant lying heart. So why am I the arrogant lying heart when you're the one who's playing games with me, right? And then the bird even says, and then I'll rip your heart out. Like, what the hell? What is this? Is this a cartoon for kids? Bruh. Look at this. Oh yeah, and many people will be like, oh, I want to live in a Studio Ghibli universe. No, you don't want to live in a Studio Ghibli universe. You don't want to live in a Studio Ghibli universe. Because there are freaky creatures like this who are waiting to rip your heart out. And there's more. So suddenly the boy starts sinking into the floor. But I don't know why he was so calm like this, because that's kind of weird to me. I was like, I wouldn't be this. Like, imagine you're just standing there and then all of a sudden you start sinking in the floor. It's crazy. And then you're just like, oh yeah, it's all... No, bro, it's not all right. And then there's total darkness around the boy, which is one of the proof that I said it's hell, because he's going down and there's total darkness. It's hell. And then, yeah, he goes to this world. And as he gets to the world, so as he falls down from the sky down into the world, he sees a gate which says, those who seek my knowledge shall die. Okay, cool. Maybe that's not much to you, but to me, I feel like those are strong words to say, right? This is the gate. And he's just standing there. In my mind, I actually thought, is he going to enter this gate? Because I know in movies, like, dumb people do dumb stuff, especially horror movies. Like, a lot of people do dumb stuff. Mostly the white folks in the movies, they do dumb stuff, to be honest. But then it's interesting that the black, the people of color, the black folk, are the ones who die first. But they're the ones who are actually avoiding the stuff. It's so dumb. Anyways, back to my point. I still have to prove it's hell. Now, all of a sudden, right, he's standing at this gate, and then all these big birds start coming and they start shouting, let's go eat. Because they wanted to eat him. Okay? So you drop into this world, huge birds start wanting to eat you. And the only way to get them away is by using this fire trick. But you as a human, where are you going to get the fire? Where are you going to get the fire? Exactly. And this woman who we're introduced to actually supports my points about why this is a dangerous, hellish place you don't want to live in. Because she says a lot of stuff like this. The buried will awake. And this guy's like, what do you mean? What do you mean the buried will awake? Look, it's crazy. And also, he has the gray heron's feather, right? And then she's like, oh yeah, because you have the random feather from that random bird. Oh, that's why you didn't die immediately as you entered here. Oh, that's why the pelicans couldn't eat you alive. Crazy. Where are you gonna get the feather? You did. Also, just the same 60 seconds of meeting this woman, she's like, oh yeah, I have a scar. A swamp thrasher got to me, by the way. Almost killed me, by the way, so welcome to this world. Yeah, it's nice to have you, by the way. What's your name? Yeah, sure. Just move a little bit, because of course the dead will awake anytime from now if you keep on standing there. There's a scene I didn't put in here. She was like, oh yeah, by the way, don't look behind you. Don't look behind. Don't look back. Just when I was like, what am I watching right now? Anyways, it's crazy. Horror movie. That's beautiful to watch. Yeah, welcome to hell. And yeah, you're definitely gonna be offed by something. And I will tell you how you absolutely be unalived by this place. Okay. Exhibit A. So this is where you are. As I said, I have a theory that this is actually hell. I don't know how his mother went to hell, but I think that this is hell. Okay. Look at this place. And this is the guy in charge. Looks freaky, by the way. And this is what's keeping the underworld together. These random blocks. And look at his hands. Oh gosh. Okay, this is freaky as hell. Yeah, so the world that you're in right now apparently is being kept by these blocks right here. So these blocks, if they happen to fall or a gust of wind just comes and they're like, yeah, it's over. It's over. So this world is, I don't know why people would want to live in this world. I do not understand why, because it's risky. It's risky for sure. And yeah, this guy created the world. He says, I created the world, and he used his power, whatever. And yeah, you say you may choose any of these blocks to add to this world. His hands are freaky. So these blocks are what's keeping this hellish place together. Which is interesting to me. Which means if you want to destroy this world, all you need to do is find a way to just blow these blocks and everything else will be destroyed. But I think you'll be destroyed as well. So I don't know. I don't think you want to be dropping this. Oh yeah, and by the way, this kid says the blocks that are building this dimension or universe we're in look like gravestones. Okay? Gravestones. I'm telling you, this is hell. This is hell. I'm telling you, bro. This is hell. Guys, this is hell. And what happens if they fall? So there's this dumb fool over here who actually toppled everything. And just by him touching these things and putting them wrong, of course, the weather started being controlled. And it started getting dark, the clouds. Okay, this is crazy. This is crazy. So, this bursts. And then a major earthquake happens. And everything is sunk into the ground. And everything is swallowed by this thick darkness right here. All right. And I need you to remember this where he says return to the corridor of time, because I think I'm going to talk more about this a little bit later on my theory of why this world is a problem to live in. Okay. So yeah, that got dark. So you're in a world that literally hangs in balance. These blocks may be gravestones of the dead. And what else? Okay, maybe you happen to be lucky and the apocalypse does not happen while you're there. Okay, cool. Maybe you're not killed by the apocalypse. You're still gonna die. I'm gonna touch on the ecosystem of this world. Well, firstly, this lady who I said is a major point for my theory says in this world the dead are the majority. Exactly, it's hell. This is obviously not heaven, so it must be hell. Now, I'm not talking in a Christian sense. I'm just talking in a religious sense where they're like, oh, there's majorly two places for the most part in most religions. So there's the good place and then the bad place. So I'm just talking about this place with what we're seeing is probably. And I love these. I forgot their name. They're very cute. So these cute beings are human souls that aren't born on Earth yet. Which is interesting. Can I say it's hell if humans come from there? Yeah, definitely. Yeah, humans could be coming from here for sure. I mean, they are, yeah. So those big birds, the pelicans, were said to going to eat all the humans, by the way. You see? So yeah, before humans are born, they will die in this hellscape. So those pelicans are stopped from eating those unborn humans. Then one of them lands where you are. This is what it says. My kind were brought to this hellscape. I told you. I told you. And then look at this thing. It's freaky as hell. So yeah, it says, oh yeah, my kind were all starving. Look at the blood. It's pretty cool. I like it. And this is what he says next. He says, the sea here is cursed. I also want you to keep this in mind. The sea is also cursed. Right? So they feast on humans to live. Okay? Even unborn humans are not safe here. Because we have animals that feast on humans to live because they don't have anything else to eat. And then he says, oh, now our newborns are forgetting to fly. Okay. Another thing, the stones. So if you touch some of the stones or the walls of this world, you get electrocuted. I'm not even kidding. You can die from just touching the wall. You're dead. Let me rest. You're dead. Okay. Like this guy here. And then you can also get electrocuted just for standing anywhere that the land doesn't want you to stand. They'll be like, oh yeah, let's off this person for standing here. Yeah, we don't like you. So here. And you can also get choked and mummified by furniture. Okay. So you see, this is aunt who is having baby. And she starts screaming, leave. She also looks really scary in this scene. And these mummified stuff can actually rip off your skin. As you can see, this must be blood right here. It's crazy. And look at, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. So I don't want to go to those guys yet, but just look at these white stuff. They seem painful to deal with and they can just be on your whole body. So that's going to be a lot of pain. And then these guys. What can I say? These ninjas right here. So first of all, they're standing looking at you holding plates like this. They're like, oh, welcome to our house. Yeah, this is our crib. And they're human-sized. by the way, and they're quiet. As you see, they just snuck up on the boy, and they're quick. So they're there, right? Boom. Looking at you like this. And they were brought in to eat and torment people. So like the pelicans, the master brought them and they bred. So the master, remember that guy? He brought these things and they're busy eating people. Okay. You see, I'm not making this up. It's right there. They eat people. You see, this is it. This is in the movie. Okay. Hold on. I don't know why it's lagging when it's loading, but yeah, they eat people and elephants too. Yeah. So they're like, oh yeah, they eat people, by the way. They were brought to eat people. And then you're like, oh my gosh, we're not safe, blah, blah. And it's like, oh yeah, and elephants too. Yeah. Yeah, they eat elephants. So doesn't matter what size you are, you're gone. And look at them holding knives like this. And this is blood right here. And why are they hiding the knife? They're hiding the knives behind them. Why? Because these guys are freaky. It's now all of a sudden a slasher horror movie. Look at this. And I wrote notes that the knives aren't even sharp. And they're gonna use this on you. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, think. You don't wanna live here. You don't wanna live in this world. And look at this guy holding a big fork. That's crazy. And then as you're walking with these freakish big birds, there's something I noticed. This young one right here, holding a cup. and these plates, it seems they were just eating. Or maybe they're unclean, but at least they have manners, right? They eat in plates, so they take off maybe your hand and then they put it in the plate and then, you know, they have forks and knives. So yeah, let's go. So yeah, what my notes are saying. So this baby's holding a cup, right? And what would the baby be drinking? Think about it. This baby right here. What would the baby be drinking? And also, what is this table, bruh? What is this table? Is that a bone? This is a bone right here. So this is an actual bone right here. It's crazy. It's a skull. It's a skull. Oh, that's crazier. There's a bone and a skull. I never noticed that. Yeah, and they're like, oh yeah, we don't eat babies. So they have manners. They have standards. We don't eat babies. We don't eat babies, by the way. Oh, and you don't have a baby. So the chances of survival if you're not pregnant are close to zero in this world. You're definitely not surviving against these. And it's going to be very brutal. Like, they're going to do you very dirty. This guy has just ready to pummel you and break your bones and everything. This guy too. This one has a pan. I don't know why, but yeah. And this one's hiding under the table. Absolutely crazy. What knife is this? And what are you going to do with this? Absolutely crazy. Yeah, and they start chanting, eatable, eatable, eatable. And they want to eat you. And if you think you can run away or something, you're dead wrong. Because they can fly. Regardless of how big they are, they can fly. And they're stronger than you. Look at how they're doing this to the brick. There's no escape. And if you think you're going into the water, think again. Because the sea is cursed, remember? So I don't know. You're probably just going to die from just going into the water. Maybe, I don't know. And then there's this typical fish, by the way. So let's say you don't die in the water. The fish is going to get you. Because this fish is bigger than a human. It's probably just going to swallow you whole. No problem. And also there's these dark guys. So remember when you're sleeping in your bedroom at 12 midnight, you open the blankets or you just look up, the light's probably off. And then you see that shadow in the corner just standing like this. Yeah, look at these guys and tell me these aren't the guys who haunt you every day at night. and they're just casually, just living in this world. And this may not be bad, but others are okay, like the Wind Rises or Totoro, right? Yeah, because my favorite Ghibli movie is The Wind Rises. It's one of my favorite. I think it is my favorite. And Totoro, and those are kind of safe, right? Wrong. Let me tell you why you're wrong. Because if they want you, they can find you in any world you are, right? Because they can actively torment you in any world because they have doors. You see this door written 132? And this is what he's saying. This is it. Your world is through here, which means there are other worlds they can go to, right? And each door is a world. And you can see this one is 748. This one's 829. This one seems like there's another number in between. Maybe I'm wrong. And each world is each door is a world or timeline, okay, that they can come to you with. And if you look at the ceiling over here, look at the ceiling, right? It shows galaxies and all these different things and planets and stars. Now, this is my own opinion, but I think they have access to endless world. Remember the guy who made it, when I said keep this in mind, when he said he said run to the chamber of time, if I'm not mistaken, time and space or something along those lines. So yeah, they have all doors here. This is 1011, and we don't know how many worlds they can enter into with this chamber right here. Crazy. Corridor of time. Here we go. Corridor of time. That's what it's called. Yeah, corridor of time. So my point is, for this whole video, by the way, is you're not coming out alive from this movie. In fact, most Ghibli worlds, you are definitely dying within a couple of hours. Hours max, you're gone, right? And if you don't die, you'll be depressed to death. You definitely be depressed to death or eaten. So, in a nutshell, this is me trying to convince you why you don't want to live in a Studio Ghibli world. Now, if you want to know who would survive in their world without powers between Ichigo, Naruto, and Luffy, you can watch this video next.